So another foundering car, and this time out of the ABARTH 595C TURISMO. And my first impressions of this car are hilarious. It gives you a very luxurious feel because you have this leather and very thick fat steering wheel. I think it's one of the thickest steering wheels I ever had in a car, including all the sporting or sportive or even sports cars. But it gives you a nice feel, especially because the car is so tiny. But in the car you sit on fat seats, you have this fat leather steering wheel in your hand, and you feel also because of the engine sound, you feel that that you're in a lot bigger car. It's now an automatic, and it is not a very subtle automatic. If you want to put all of this car in one word, you could call it non-subtle, but it is also in one word pleasure. It's just fun, huh? And also the underpinnings. So the TURISMO already has Koni underpinnings instead of the normal 595, normal 500. So that's a big improvement already, but it feels still quite stiff. And also you have an older type of car, eh? So in its essence it's a car that has been developed in 2007, and it has not matured that much as compared to other cars, because other cars, they are new iterations and very often completely new cars during their life cycle. But this life cycle is extremely long. So I'm not saying that there haven't been new types, because there have, also from the 500, and the ABARTH benefits from that, but those are more of evolutions instead of revolutions. So they are like facelifts of an existing platform. The automatic I like. As I mentioned, it's not subtle, especially if you have this shifting by the computer. It just delays longer than is needed, especially with a modern type of automatic systems. On the other hand, it is very how to say this? It is very masculine because it is such a blunt instrument. And the other thing is you have these flippers, as you can see here, for shifting down, and here for shifting. There it comes. For shifting up. And that adds a lot of pleasure to the car. So you can also manually shift. And if you are not driving like a lunatic, then you can also solve the abrupt discontinuation of power and then the jerk in your back by releasing a little bit of the gas when you find that the shift point is approaching. So that's a thing that you could do, but it's quite blunt. On the other hand, it's a nice type of car that you have flippers in an A segment type of car is just hilarious, of course. I think it's the only one that has it. So in the ABARTH you have now we're shifting by hand. It's quite subtle, as you can see with the flipper. But you have three types of transmissions. Again with by hand, quite subtle. So one is the manual, of course. It's also quite nice. Then you have the automatic, so complete automatic, especially for the US market. And then you have this MTA system that I have, with also the flippers on the steering wheel and the buttons to push. And I think this is the MTA system is the most interesting one, because no other car has this. And then you might say, okay, the complete manual might be a little bit faster, which it can be, I can imagine. But on the other hand, on track days, MTA systems appear to be easier, because you can keep your hands on the steering wheel and just shift by that. And also the benefits I already have a car. Now I let the automatic shift, so you had that more abrupt. Again, you see that. But I already have a nice manual which has 6 speeds, and this in the normal manual has 5 speeds. So I think that I'm already quite pleased with the system that is in the Swift. The Swift in some other markets comes with an automatic transmission. It also has the flippers on the steering wheel, but it's not delivered to Europe. So otherwise it could be better to switch it around. And also I think because I got it with the 595C, so it's a convertible. You can get the roof up, which is fantastic. I try to drive as much as possible with the roof down, but yeah, now it's a little bit of rainy weather, so it's not that nice for the interior. So I keep it closed now. But the convertible, in my opinion, should be more of a pleasurable, not that hardcore. Now 2 tunnels, not that hardcore type of car. And then I think both the Turismo instead of the Competizione, because it's a little bit less stiff and also more luxurious, I like. And also I think the automatic, especially MTA, is a good compromise, because that also makes it easier to live with. So it's more comfort. And that's are the main reasons. The other reason is that my wife likes automatic systems more than manuals, so that's also a benefit to her, for her if she wants to drive it. It's just such a boon, because it's so tiny, you can just push it through the narrows of but it's also a lot more tiny and less wide as compared to the Swift, which is one segment bigger but also so much wider. You might think because ABARTH looks wide that it is wide, but it is not. Ooh, ooh. My wife is driving the BMW on the porch. So now I'll reverse and make some room for her. But the tiny thing in a city type of car, in the city environment, is a nice thing. The drawback is, of course, when you have, you take big distances and you have less comfort. And the other thing is, when you have to take some stuff with you, this is also a drawback, that you don't have the storage room. On the other hand, I could sit in the back of the car, even behind myself, but only the thing is, your head, when you're sitting completely straight, it was touching the roof. When the roof is open, you don't have this problem. So also for my children, this is a big plus, very big plus for such a small convertible. I think it's the best headroom in the class. However, when you're sitting so far back, as an adult as I'm 1 meter 88 centimeters. Then the one sitting behind you, especially if they also have longer legs, they will come into problems with space. So that can be solved by either me pulling my chair a little bit more up front. That's gets you some additional headroom, some additional leg room. Or the other thing is to get the bigger person sitting up front. I really like these seats. Very nice contoured, like a tongue, like a mouth. It is not that long, the seating. This is not that long. Is it quite high? What is nice, this is the MTA system. As you can see, the flippers on the steering wheel. I also really like this red accent. So it's a red and black interior. The ABARTH logos everywhere. I really like that. Really terrific. I think they could do one thing better with by removing the 500 and making 595, because it's a 595. Also the thing is, if you want get those forward, you have a button here that can then, as you can see, push the chair forward, so then you can easily have access to the rear seat, as you can also see there. But the thing is, it has a memory, so it will not slide that easily in the driver's side. And the passenger side, it slides forward quite easily. And you don't have a edition, later ones, so 2016 plus, you do get a glove box, so it could be a benefit there. And also all these chrome accents, it gives you a very nice, pleasurable feel, very fat handbrake as well. As you can see, it's such an overbuild, and that's also here with the very fat parts on the steering wheel. But it's nice, pleasurable. It really is. And also I like this flattened part a lot. So I will show you a little bit more from the outside, also compared to the Swift. There you see the very nice two-tone, and it looks very white, huh? Very white. But look at this. It's so much wider. The two-tone is terrific. I really like that. Also the TURISMO comes with bigger rims and very nice badges. Also stating here that it's TURISMO. The Monza, Record Monza exhaust also very much recommended. But even the standard ABARTH exhaust is nice. Here you see also the headrest of the back seat moved higher because the children were also in it. So very nice. You don't get a real hatchback functionality, it's more of a sedan. So this only pops open. Perhaps I just locked it. I can show you. So there you go. It's more of a sedan-like functionality. And also from the front, this is a very nice silhouette, quite wide. But this is so much wider. It is Suzuki Swift Sport. Have a great day.